everyone. I am reviewing the September issue, which I had never seen before. I actually didn't even know that it existed, which is pretty cool because it follows Anna Wintour and her team. Anna Wintour was formerly the editor-in-chief of Vogue, but she has very recently stepped down from that position, and kind of follows her and her team working on the September issue for Vogue magazine, which they just explain is one of the most important issues. I thought it was really interesting. I think it was really engaging. Also, it was interesting to sort of see journalism from a fashion side. I feel like because I'm always working in news, I feel like oftentimes I sort of don't really see the other components of it, which I think was really good to sort of remind me again. Obviously I know that they exist, but sometimes you kind of forget when you're not exposed to it so often. So I think that was really interesting. And also I am aware of Vogue magazine and also the Met Gala and stuff. It's very big in pop culture, so it was very entertaining to sort of see all the behind the scenes and stuff like that. I think that one of the big lessons that I think really you can take away from this documentary is the attention to detail throughout the entire thing. They're double checking and triple checking names, dates, information, all this stuff. And so I think that is really a great point to always no matter how much you think that you've got it right, it's really important to double check everything. And also story selection really important. It's important. They kind of go a lot about how which story to put first, what pictures to use, all this stuff. And so it's very, you look at a magazine, you don't think of how much effort was put into it, but watching this documentary you can really see that, which I think is really cool. And also I love the sort of high pressure, very big stakes that this documentary follows, because you get very immersed into it and you feel the pressure of it, even though you're obviously not on a deadline and you're not part of Vogue, but you feel like you're a part of it because it's so amped up, which I think makes it really engaging. You're kind of watching staff argue about layouts and story choices, and so I think that really added to the entertaining aspect of it. And I think that another big thing to take away from this is the idea of teamwork, and all of the staffers were working together to sort of get this issue out. They were working all the time, long nights, that sort of stuff. So sort of that idea of teamwork and how important it is, I think really came through with this documentary. Overall I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I would give it 7 oranges out of 10. There was nothing outwardly specifically wrong with it that I didn't like. I would just say there have been other documentaries that I've watched that this is sort of more of I don't know if this is a way to describe it, but it was almost a profile piece documentary. You know what I mean? They weren't uncovering anything like that. It was just sort of a behind the scenes, which I think is really cool, but it's just not my favorite genre of documentary, so I wouldn't give it a 9 or a 10. But overall, I think it was pretty engaging and pretty enjoyable, and I would recommend people who are interested, especially in fashion and stuff. I think it's really cool to sort of get a sense of all the work that goes into it.